Julius's death sentence being postponed.
Whose?
Did you hear about this?
No. What is this?
Can you look up his last name? I'm blank. A black guy was charged, I think, in the 90s and has been on death row since then. And evidence, Julius Jones, right? Thank you. Julius Jones.
The DNA evidence, right?
All the evidence points to this poor guy being innocent. And he was supposed to be executed. And there was protests all over the country about this. And 4 hours before this guy was set to be executed, they suspended the execution sentence and put him in prison for life. So he now has a chance to fight his case. 4 hours before he was set to be state murdered.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine
the mental distress of that? I mean, now they're trying to fight to get him out of jail. But I think someone commented, either the governor or someone high up in the state, I'm really fucking up my facts right now, I should have read it more, basically said that it was disappointing that his death sentence got commuted. And I was like, you piece of shit. Isn't just the slimmest chance, isn't just the faintest possibility that he might be innocent enough for you not to execute him?
I don't really believe in the death penalty.
I don't believe in the death penalty at all.
Unless you're doing something with children.
I don't believe in the death penalty at all. 1 in 25 people on death row who have been killed on death row
are innocent.
Are believed to be innocent now. And if that's not enough for you to...
Hold on. How do you measure that?
Because they can go back now to like previous case of people who've been executed.
Okay.
With DNA evidence and reevaluate the evidence.
Gotcha, yeah.
Basically, the studies show that 1 out of every 25 people who've been executed on death row were probably innocent. And if that's not enough to convince you that death row shouldn't be a thing and the death penalty shouldn't be a thing, I don't know what is.
It's the prison system in general.
Just the chance that someone may have been innocent is like... Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's gross. The prison system in general is disgusting.
State-sanctioned murder.
You know, like they spend an average $110,000 per person for federal state prison per year.
It costs more to keep someone on death row than it does to keep them in prison for life. A whole lot more. Isn't that wild?
And yet there's, these private prisons are literally people farms.
Yeah, it's disgusting with slave labor.
And then all that money goes down. And, these are the problems that we should be focusing on, right? Yeah. But instead we're following these red herrings to either divide us from being educated or keeping the conversation consistent enough where change can actually occur. And that's what bugs me about it, because it's abuse. It's emotional abuse. What's going on in the media? Yeah. We're being constantly twisted and turned. I barely know what to believe. Right isn't left. It's madness. It's just this weird kind of runaround. And it's really, really hurting us as people, and now there's all of these factions going on. There's all of these like pockets of belief, and no one's able to take a step into other perceptions of it so easily. It's just like, I don't know where it's going to end, Meriel. Because it's not slowing down. Yeah. Right? It's not slowing down. And more people are going to die. Yeah. More people are going to go to jail, right? More people are going to be wrongfully imprisoned. More people are going to be shot by police. More Karens are going to call police the first time that they, in a moment's notice on people of color. Like, all of these things happen because we're not focusing on the right things. And I don't know. I don't have the solutions, but
we've got to wrap up as well. This was a heavy podcast episode. I came in this morning thinking it was all be chirpy, chirpy, chat, and we got to some real heavy stuff. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just, it's actually scary to talk about this stuff. Yeah. Because it's so easy for people to jump on what you and I just discussed. Yeah. And to paint us in a way that... Well,
this is all this is the point of this podcast, right? It's all discussion. And we don't know if we're right. Honestly, it's a lot of bullshit. We're just talking and getting conversations going. We could be completely wrong. We could be right. I think the fact that we don't know and we admit that we don't know about stuff is kind of key to this.
Yeah, but there's going to be a time when that doesn't matter.
When people saying they don't know stuff, doesn't matter.
But people say that all the time that are painted inappropriately on the internet.
Well, do you want to redo this episode? Then?
No, I don't. I think the moment that we're afraid to say these things is the moment this entire mission dies.
Yeah, that's true.
And, I'm not going to do that. No way.
Yeah.
But, thankfully, right now, we don't have not thankfully, but we don't have 3 million people watching this.
Yeah.
So it's not going to make mainstream news. You know, the worst thing that can happen is probably, you know, the powers that be are like, maybe this shouldn't be on the internet. Right? That's the worst case scenario. But there will be a time.
We haven't said anything that controversial.
No, not at all. No, if anything, it's that video. Video on her clips.
The baby wee
The baby wee wee.
video clip.
Oh my
I think it's
God.
hilarious. It's the creepiest ad, and that video made me laugh so hard.
But people don't want, you know, people will eventually come for these kinds of discussions.
Great. And then my career will be ruined. Awesome. Thanks, guys. This is Broken Spoken. We've loved having you.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
See you next week when we've been banned from the internet.